The first time I started to speak about sustainable development, that's when I got the major speaking gigs that I got, because that's like the wave. So there's nothing you're doing that is not encompassing in sustainable finance. If you all speak about your different fields, there's no way it doesn't align with SDGs. All 17 of them, there's something you can find. And that's what I'm saying. Gender equality is one thing that just because you're a woman, you can easily just find already. And there's a lot of things are out there waiting for you. So you're not only doing it for the purpose of impact, you do it for impact, you do it for financial returns, and you do it for growth. So those communities, when Kaka mentioned this at first, I'm like, literally, I don't want to be part of all those cliche conversations, support ourselves and we'll just talk and then we'll leave here. And I'll see you outside again next year and I can't say hello to you because you've forgotten that we want to be a place of, what's all that? I'm not interested. I'm a superwoman in my own right. So if I see you again and I say hello to you, it should be one superwoman to another superwoman. Even if I don't have 1 million followers, hello, I have what I have that is not what you have. And I appreciate you for what you have. But then we need to understand that we can coexist. You don't know about sustainable finance. Trust me, you don't know, and I know, and I'll tell you effortlessly. I don't know about PR, marketing, all of these things. And please tell me, and let's work together. But that enmity, it really needs to stop. It shouldn't be, you're not with us, so you can't sit with us.
Yeah.
You're not with us. We like where we are, and we want to bring more of you to come and sit with us. That should be the whole idea. And after I'm like, all these people, come up here, let's create that for our own selves. Like, effortlessly.
Again, I'm heavily influenced by our ingredients. I'm heavily influenced by our produce. I love what we have around. Our culture is rich, it's beautiful, it's vibrant. So what you have here is suya short ribs. Short ribs has been braising for literally 24 hours, which is why it is so soft. And it's paired with plantain puree. Smoked plantain puree. So the plantain was smoked in its skin and then pureed, and yeah, this is what we hear. So I hope you enjoy it.
What did you experience with this?
Yeah.
And is being selfish a bad thing in this context?
In this context, being selfish is an amazing thing because, to be honest, every woman is supposed to be selfish with herself. With your self-care, with anything that benefits you. It's definitely something to be very selfish about, because we live in a society where it's not normal for women to, really want to, really take care of themselves, really prioritize themselves. They expect, if you're married, they expect you to, prioritize your husband. And if you have kids, you prioritize your kids. And everyone should come before you, all your in-laws, your spouse, your kids. Then you should just put yourself last, and that's why most times, a lot of women that get married, give birth and everything, and they're just like housewives, a lot of times they are depressed because it's kind of like, maybe some of them want to, take care of themselves, but they don't even know how to anymore. And it's just this thing in the society. And to be very honest, self-care should be every woman's priority. Yeah, it's very important to take care of yourself, your mental health, because that's the most important thing, and then your physical appearance and every other thing follows. But yeah, I stand with being selfish. I stand with being selfish.
So question, have you always been like this, or was there this shift back up it?
Actually, the way I grew up, I was fending for myself right from a very young age. I was always taking care of myself. I didn't have anyone to take care of me per se. Apart from my parents, but at some point I overgrew that, my parents have to take care of me and stuff like that. So I had to take it upon myself to, take care of myself very well. I didn't have I wasn't dependent on any man, and I still am not. Even though a lot of people might not really, they might be like, oh, okay, yeah, you're dating this guy. Nah, you're good. I'm sure you're not doing anything. I'm sure you're just eating all the money and everything like that. But honestly, I still take it upon myself to work hard. And I was hearing Anita speak. So she was saying that you have to, she was talking about working and then taking some time off, to chill. And I feel like I've not really gotten to that point yet where I feel comfortable enough to take some time off for myself. Yeah. Whenever I am resting, or whenever I'm just like, you know what, I'm not going to do any work, I feel very guilty.
Yeah.
And I feel like my whole world is about to fall if I don't just stand up and start doing something. Yeah. But I mean, like, generally, I've just prioritized taking care of myself. And whenever I fall back, I pick myself up back again, because if you don't take care of yourself, there's no one that's going to take care of you.
So yeah.
You don't expect a man to take care of you the way you would take care of yourself. And if anything, you have to tell him how to take care of you. Right? So most times women, we don't even know what we want. And that's really not. So, yeah. I'm sort of free at work tomorrow, but I'm massage booked in between.
That's the right.
We're talking about the lobby. Definitely, I was gonna bring
like kill myself.
nothing's gonna break you. Your business not gonna shut down. Everybody, everyone's gonna die. Everyone like guarantee. So my motto now, nothing will collapse. Well, I'm still trying to, tap into that area of the process. Yeah, used to be like that as well. I used to feel like if I step out a second, it's over. Yeah, because recently I've just I've not really been in a very good place. So it's kind of like I didn't have a choice. I just had to cut back on working and stuff like that. I just had to chill, and it was not my intention. But I mean, I'm still battling with that guilt of, why are you resting, girl? Like, start about do something. But at the same time, I just have to. Exactly. So at the same time, I just have to understand that I actually just have to, calm down at some points and just.
And be gracious with yourself. Accept that you have to do that so that you can be more productive. Because if you didn't do that, you will not be able to do what you're doing today. I used to struggle with that a lot too. I mean, I probably still struggle with it, but sometimes when I can't do what I want to do, so far it's not that I'm just being irresponsible. I just allow myself, because sometimes it's not just making sense. And it's okay to not understand, because guess what? We're young women. I only just turned 30 last year. And the kind of goals I have and what I want to do, I have a child that's turning 10 this year.
Wow.
And another one is turning 5 this year. And I'm like, girl, you've done all of these things and you're still doing this that you're doing. Pat yourself. When my friends tell me, Tajimadi, you've done a lot, I'm like, not done a lot though. But literally, when I self-reflect, I do agree that I've done a lot. And sometimes when I'm not able to do as much as I can, I'm happy to just let it go. My type of work, I told Kaka that we're all working remotely tomorrow. She's like, your office allowed you. I got home on Saturday morning from working 9 to 5 on Saturday morning.
Wait, I don't understand.
I got home on Saturday morning.
That's not 8 to 5, no, that's it.
I know, and that's what my work is. My work is monitoring. You must always be there. And I work in the financial sector, so it's chaotic, literally. And I live on the mainland, and I work. In fact, it's really because of the different things that happen in the Nigerian economy. My office publishes the foreign exchange rate and all those kind of things. So I don't even work in those teams. So you can now imagine the people that work in those teams. Yeah. So it's chaotic, and most of the times I just pressure myself a lot. I'm like, I need to be there for school runs. And guess what? I don't know how I do it. And that's why I believe that women, we don't know the superpower that lies therein. I miss all of these things. In my office, I've been there 2 years, and every year I've gotten like amazing feedback, excellent staff, best this, all of those type of things. And I have 2 kids, and I have a husband, and I live on the mainland, and I have other things that I try to do. I miss all of these things. But when I go for open day at school, I always ask the teachers, I'm like, why am I here today? And they're like, Mrs. Tajoshua, you just need to come, because everything is on the go.
Yeah.
I come back home late at night, I must check communication book. I must sign and respond. Their dad would have signed if I'm not at home, but I must read what he wrote there. And I always give feedback. If you say my daughter knows how to do X, Y, Z, if I'm not there that day, I'll call her later and I'll write back. I asked her X, Y, Z. She only told me X, so she doesn't know Y, Z do. Tell her the remaining things. You understand? I'm still able to do all of these things. So we really need to appreciate ourselves a lot more. Don't wait for other people to tell you. Just look at yourself and look at where you started from. Girl, my last appraisal, the woman was telling me, I remember when you walked into this office during the interview, and Tajimade, you said that you were, in fact, it was so bad that they asked me a question. I said that I don't know this thing as much. And she said, tell me what you know. I told her, and she looked at me and said, you say you don't know it. Like, you literally just said it. I said that because I had only read it, I had not interacted with it. The other gender would not do that. When they ask them, what is this thing? They'll say all of that. And it's because we don't take our time to appreciate ourselves as much as possible. And appreciating yourself, I mean, there's the self-love part of going out, but just looking back and being in a place of gratitude that, you know, you have gone through all of these things and you're still the one who's standing, and just being happy that the fact that you're even thinking that you're not doing a lot is in itself the fact that you are doing a lot. But some people are not doing anything and they don't even care. They don't even know that they're not doing anything, and they're enjoying their lives. So the fact that you're thinking about it is powerful.
A superwoman.
Superwoman.
Well, that Lord of you.
Super.
Superwoman, Lord.
So I'll just break it down, right? I think there's a involving women and girls in sustainable agriculture and food security initiatives is crucial for achieving long-term food security, poverty reduction, and sustainable development. Is this an initiative that female chefs can champion, even though female chefs are just being recognized as professionals and not just cooks? Yeah.
So that's a lot. And I definitely think it's something that female chefs can, I mean, we speak about, unfortunately, it's just not, we're not just as focused as men are. I think that's a topic for another story, where women need to champion themselves and it's ours.
And not just talk.
Yeah, we have incredible female chefs that are doing incredibly things. They have incredible female fathers that are doing incredible things. And with the way everything is going right now, I think definitely agriculture is a massive, massive part that we really need to focus on. And like I said, yeah, we have some female chefs that are farmers. We have, like, there's a lady on Instagram, like her grocery line things.
Yeah.
That's where I buy all my produce from. Like, when I have private dining, when even from my house, I buy all my produce from her. And of course, the farming industry is predominantly men, and the chef industry, funny enough, even though it's a women's job, it's predominantly men, but there's still quite a bit of us, but we're just not in the forefront. And I think maybe it was work at coming forward more and maybe just, advocating for ourselves and just being a little bit more vocal, and we'll see an extension to.
Okay, if I may add something to that conversation, and I want to add something to it because, sustainable agriculture is one of impact investment areas. And when you ask that question, I mean, I'd read something recently that spoke to the amount of female farmers in Nigeria, but I wanted to be very sure of the numbers. So I then went and then checked again, and interestingly, Nigerian women make up about 70% of the country's agricultural workforce. That's the amount of women that have power to dictate the type and quality of food that you and I eat. But the annoying part, the majority of these women, that's smallholder farmers, they're not here, they're not in Lagos, they're not in Ibadan. Where do we think they are? They're in the north. And a lot of them are women who do not have access to quality education, and so what they know is what the men have taught them. There's this thing as well. Some of them don't even have access to own a property. It's a thing. With the way the laws are, we're classified with the women and disabled. Like, that's the categorization that we have for a gender that contributes half of Nigeria's population. I don't know the reason why I, as a woman, should be classified with that category, and the other gender that contributes, what my gender contributes to population, is not classified as that. So what does this mean? So recently there was a gender bond. I'm trying to not sound too technical because my seat partner has said that she explains finance as English, so I have to make sure of that. But essentially is pulling together funds and investing in female-led businesses or businesses that impact women. That's what a gender bond essentially is. And it's been done successfully in Tanzania. Last year I had a conference where we invited them and they came to speak about it and the likes. These women, they need our financing. And I mean, I might be sounding like a broken record, but I would not stop to sound like that. We have established chefs like you and other women that one of the reasons why you're established is because of your hard work, yes, and also because of opportunities that are available to you. Yes. That these women did not put themselves in that situation. They happened to be born in the North, happen to be raised in the type of families that they are, and they have the knowledge and skill set about farming that you probably would not have because that's not where you are at. But you have the knowledge about, look at the amazing meals that you've given us today. These women cannot come near to that. But you know they can provide you the raw materials that you need. So I'm just trying to emphasize on how agriculture is so essential because of where the economy of Nigeria is right now, and we need to spend a lot of investment to that space because, I mean, if you look at the macro economy statistics and the likes of those things, you know, that's the correct word, yeah. We've been depending a lot, you know, on foreign exchange and importing lots of things. And one of the ways that we can develop this economy is through agriculture. But again, this is another sector that will push my gender to the back again, even if we contribute 70% of the workforce. So now is a time where we need to make that decision. If I am a chef, I'm not one, I'm putting it to you to say that, I mean, you're already doing something very fantastic to make sure that you're buying your produce from somebody that's already impact investing, if you don't know. Like literally, that's what you're already doing. But then to make sure that it goes a step forward, I'm expecting for businesses like the grocery lady to have an impact strategy that ensures that you're going to be able, because she knows a lot about farming in an international way. Do you understand? Like she has exposure. She will tell you about some types of produce that are like, oh, this type of things do exist. She knows all of those things. The grocery lady, I buy my strawberries from her, and she's not even in Lagos, she's in Abuja, and then they have to ship those things. So I'm saying, now is the time, I mean, I'm putting it out there. She probably does something already, but I don't know about it. But we need businesses like that to make sure that a portion of their profits.
I've been so jealous of everyone opening up their scrolls, answering questions, but guess what? It's my turn. Whee! Da-da-da-dum. Who is this question for? Better be. Better be Anita. And, of course, question for Anita. The recognition of women's mental health challenges at different stages of life is crucial for providing appropriate support and intervention. Are these stages even recognized enough by women themselves to provide support for each other?
I feel like as women, without even saying it, especially as women in 2024, we already have that in us, that we are sisters. Yeah. I think it's just fear that holds us back. Fear of, I don't know how this person feels, I don't know if I should how to approach this. But I think I'm grateful for things changing. I definitely think mental health is something that the topic of mental health is something that has taken the forefront, and it's been like that for, I would say, probably 5 years. Yeah. I know people now do like mental health Tuesdays. I absolutely love it. I've been wondering how will I even, I need to get involved in that because I feel I'm like, you know, you have to be sensitive with mental health. I think I'm probably one of the few, I'm pretty strong when it comes to my emotions. I'm pretty strong, and I'm constantly a shoulder for other people, and it's a cycle for me. I feel like in a week I'm constantly a shoulder, and I think as women, because we have motherly instincts, because it's a nurturing thing for us. We kind of it's natural for us to kind of want to help somebody else, and we have the sensitivity as well. It's not a lot of our other gender. They can't really relate, because even with communications that we have on social media, let's use social media as example. You know, something is said online. You know, okay, let me not speak on certain topics. You know, there are some topics that come up about rape, about sexual abuse. If you look at the conversation that surrounds how a man responds to it and a woman responds to it is different. You know, you have the few women, you know, I know we use the word pick me or whatever. I need to find a better word because I don't like the word. Yes. I personally don't like the word. I feel like there needs to be a better word for it. You know, you have the few women, of course. I feel like it also depends on how they were raised and things like that. You know, there's a particular topic that has been dragging on for a while about the artist that died. We don't need to get into it. With the wife and what is requested of her, whatever, quote unquote. And you can see the disparity in how, you know, the men come for her. and how women stand their ground. And I think it's not because we know what she's going. It's not because we know her personally. It's because we're women, and we can relate in. No matter how little it is, we can relate somehow to what she's going through, and we're a bit more sensitive. And I believe that it is literally, so we're what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we're about 8 on this table, 6, yeah, we're 8 on this table, and it starts with 8 people, it starts with 10 people, actually standing up for people, because a lot of people are going through it, especially people that are very active on social media. Everybody looks fantastic. Everybody looks like their life is well, everybody, and you know, I'm not even putting it out to the table, I'm putting it out to myself as well. It is my responsibility to stand up for the next girl because not a lot of people are doing that. So the conversation about mental health, I think we're doing pretty well. I don't think we're doing well enough, but I think it's the fear that's holding us. Yeah. And until about 8 to 10 people start speaking on mental health, especially 8 to 10 women that are influential in some way or another, until we start speaking on mental health, until we start saying, okay, let's talk. Because I know that's happening a lot now. People leave the question box and people say, oh, talk to me, what's going on? I absolutely love it. I love reading it. It's so inspiring. It allows us delve deeper into what people are going through individually, until we're all ready to kind of support the next one, even if it's someone you don't know. Until we're able to do that, we're not able to impact the next person. Because I know we all have it in us. It's only a few, but I feel like it's life that has gotten some people hardened to a place where they're asking, just answer them. They're asking you for something, just answer them. You know, and it's like, don't you have a heart? Don't you know what this person is going through? And until we're able to do that as 8 people on the table, it will grow into 16. It will go into 32, it's go, my math. It's going to 64, it's going to, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I think it starts from us, and it's also my responsibility. Like I said, this morning I was literally in the bathroom thinking, how can I do better? It's International Women's Day on the 8th of March. How can I do better? It's just a date to the next person, but to me, it's something, because I feel like I have an impact somehow. So it's my responsibility to do better in those, because I have guilt for not being able to do better. I'm sure I do 1 or 2, don't get me wrong, but I definitely have guilt, and I don't know if anyone else does, but I think it's our responsibility, and I think we're doing okay, but let's just leave the fear behind. It's like, you know, when you say you want to ask someone something, is either yes or no? It's the same with us doing that. When it comes to fear, it's either it goes left or goes right. What is the worst that can happen? Yeah. You know, and yeah, so that's my, I think I'm rambling. So that's my response to that.
I wanted to ask, you said that you are a shoulder to a lot of people. Yeah. And I wanted to ask if you feel like you also have a safe space or a shoulder to.
Okay, so for the longest time, I don't think I had I think, so even till now, in human form, I don't think there's a lot of people that I can go to vent. Maybe one person, but it's not a woman. You know, it's a person I'm very comfortable with, but the more I get closer to God, the more I realize that, why am I talking to a human being? You know, and I think it's just my relationship with God, and it kind of brings me back to the way I am built. I think I'm just like, I get over things very quickly. I have delayed reaction naturally. So good. So I'll be wondering. Yes. So I don't get upset easily. I might get upset 10 days later. Now it's too late. I'm like, well, moving on. Or somebody pisses.
An amazing reply to what you should have said.
Yeah. And it's like it has passed. Yeah. Or it has passed. Or somebody upsets me. It's either I get over it or I cut them off. And when I do cut them off, I'm not even upset anymore. It's just, but that is a personality thing. I don't think it makes me any special, just who I am, and some other people don't have that. The more I get closer to God, the more I realize that I don't need a human being. It's not the same for others. My best friend, she's already messaging me about something, and I love her for that. It's cool, you know. because I do sometimes give her, the support that she needs or the advice that she needs, but that's me, and I cannot expect that from somebody else. I don't think it's even, I shouldn't expect that.
From what I'm seeing from you is like your nature not even to put that on anyone.
I'm not, yes, it's natural for me not to put things on people, yes.
Yeah.
And I think it's like, maybe because I'm the first girl, I'm the first born.
I'm the first girl, that's why I relate with that.
First girl energy.
Yes.
When I'm going through things, I'm just like, let me just deal with this on my own.
Yeah.
Yes.
Remember what everybody else is doing.
Yes. And oh my God, it's crazy you say that because
I told them as a joke after.
Yes, I have yes.
I like to go through whatever I'm going through
Yes.
and then talk about it.
I have a vivid memory.
I'm so much more comfortable doing that.
I have a vivid memory, and this is when I was super, super young, and the memory still sticks, and I feel like it's the core of my personality, it's the core of what I am. I remember when my dad left Nigeria before every one of us. And I remember when, like, I was born in Nigeria, but I left Nigeria when I was 9. I don't know my age. I think I'm 33. I think I'm 33 this year. Am I turning 33 or 34 this year? You get to that age where you don't know your age. I promise you that's me. But yeah, I left Nigeria when I was 9 years old. Well, my dad left when I was probably like 6. But it feels like my dad has always been, I don't know. But anyway, my dad left when I was probably like 5 or 6. And I remember my dad left, it was always going to be, my dad's going to leave and then my mom or my sibling, I can't remember. When my dad and my mom left, I was always with my grandma. And I remember vividly, I used to just sit in my room like, okay, I think my brother should leave first. And then my other brother. And then my sister. I think I'm okay. I think I can probably survive. That is my memory. It's my core, and I feel like that is literally my personality till date. So
I think it's a fresh. I wouldn't even say I don't channel a lot of things like fresh daughters have to deal with. I am the first both sides, but because my siblings were also born in the UK, and I grew up in Nigeria, we have the sibling bond, but we also don't have the sibling bond, and I don't have the first daughter responsibility, but I have the first daughter instincts. Does that make any sense?
Yes.
So if I remember vividly, I have a scar on my head, and like the fact that I would like to deal with my thing by myself, I felt that I was rolling. I will not forget. I was rolling. that thing where you're rolling and just rolling. Now I want to be dizzy and I'm playing and it's unprovoked. And then I hit my head on the wall. But because I knew my grandma raised me and she was under so much stress already, I didn't want to stress her. My head was bleeding until it had tetanus and I fainted in school. So that was how bad I would not open my mouth because I don't want to stress somebody. So now I think about it, is it because I don't want to stress somebody or I didn't think I was important enough to stress somebody? So there are actual layers to it because I remember I said that as much as I'm very driven, I didn't have a vision of what I wanted to look like. So when people say, I dreamt what my wedding day would look like, I dreamt about
I don't even know what that means.
Driving in a car or what my everyday would look like.
Did you know what?
I had it.
I told you
I didn't have it. I have it now, but like.
I told you I had hip replacement.
Yeah.
So I had an accident when I was young, and again, like speaking of it now, I kept saying I'm okay, I'm fine. And is it because I didn't want to put my burden on somebody else, or like everybody would not be worrying about me? Because I was young. Like, what the hell do I know about if I'm okay? But I started crying when they said we should go to the hospital. I didn't even know it would affect me in the long run. But now, like after you said this, I'm just like, oh my God, this is
never really
so profound.
And how my life like played out. Like I had one of those. My daughter, like I knew I was going to have her like a week before. So I'll go home and my grandma was like, there's something wrong with this girl, there's something wrong with this girl, there's something wrong with this girl. Everyone was like, there's something wrong with this girl. But me, I knew I was just sleeping. But I didn't know I was pregnant. Because at that time, that was even the most irresponsible time of my life. All I did was party, smoke, and drink. Nothing else. I read my book. I didn't read book. I read the book, but I always know once I attend class and I listen to lectures, I'm good. So like I already had my process with books and stuff. And then I go to the hospital on a Monday, and the next day I was 8 months pregnant. I was like, people are not okay. On Sunday, I had that child.
Exactly.
Is it correct? sick.
Before you gave birth.
On Sunday, I had that child.
Stop.
This matter will not.
This is a story.
Let's just
I watch these videos online.
Wait, hold on. So you have 1 month to prepare your baby.
It's not. So this is. I feel like I still have more. 10.
Stop it.
Yeah. I feel like I still have more to say than that, but the book is.
I wish we had all night to talk at this because I know we would. But honestly, this has been such an inspirational chat. I feel very, very close and connected to everyone here. And I feel like people all probably feel that way about each other as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
So on that note, let's close.
No. That means it's the end. Cheers. Cheers, ladies. Cheers, 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 cheers. Cheers.
Thank you so much to Miskay for throwing this amazing dinner for us. The chef, compliments to you, Soliat. The food has been amazing. The drinks have been amazing. Everything has been flowing. Conversations have been amazing. Every single one of you have opened up. You've shared. You've inspired. And I think anybody that watches this and everybody that's leaving here today has picked something up that's going to make them a best person for tomorrow. So, with that being said, let's put our International Women's Day signs up in the air. The millennial heart. Happy International Women's Day, everyone.
I wish I
I think we're all shooting our attention. Wait, the Gen Z is doing it the right way.